Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my Gosei Sentai Dairanger episode commentary and reviews. This time it's episode 14. Well, time to get married. And before anything else, I just want to say, if you do like what you see and hear, please remember to like and subscribe. It just means a lot on a small channel like this. Now let's get into the episode. The episode opens with the police questioning the Rangers as Shoji says they didn't kill the man. The cop says he knows as he reveals a bullet hole in the man's chest, where he was shot earlier during the robbery and his body vanished, much to Shoji's relief. Back at HQ, Gohan explains that Kabuki had swallowed his fiancée before fleeing China, as Rin says to stop joking. Ryo stops her, saying it's nice her grandpa has a friend, though everyone is shocked when Gohan reveals she's actually a 20-year-old. Elsewhere, the Triumvirates have found out about Shukyo and berate the monster for going against orders. Gaara orders the woman be spit out, and when he says he won't, Zydos attacks him until he relents. As Shadam tells Kabuki Boy if he loves her so much, then he must kill Gohan to keep her. As the Triumvirate leave, Kabuki Boy punches himself in the stomach to spit up Shukyo, but she runs as he tries to embrace her, saying she's marrying Gohan before grabbing a saber weapon as Kabuki says he will eliminate Gohan. Later, Gohan and Rin are talking about Shukyo as he presents Rin with the Dairanger, saying it's fine because he has plenty, before the pair practice with the new weapon. Before being distracted by a spear thrown by Kabuki Boy with a challenge attached, as the Dairangers are watching news reports of martial artists disappearing. Gohan arrives at an abandoned building to find Shukyo in a cage which is surrounded by flames. As he approaches before he's challenged by a possessed boxer, Gohan quickly defeats his opponents and chases after the fleeing Kabuki Boy, who possesses another fighter who is also quickly beaten. Gohan follows before having to fight a possessed samurai, followed by a robot, which promptly falls over. Getting back up, the pair fights with Gohan struggling and beaten back, but is saved by a Dairanger thrown by Rin as the Rangers have arrived. Outside, the Triumvirates are watching from a car when they notice the saber on her hip. As Rin breaks open the cage, and Shukyo and Gohan embrace. Robo Kabuki attacks and the Rangers are thrown outside, where they transform and Rin takes on the robot, destroying it. Hearing a scream, they find the Triumvirate challenging Gohan and Shukyo, demanding her sword. The Rangers use Kyoryu Bomber to attack the Triumvirate, allowing the pair to escape, as the three Gorma turn to metal before reflecting the attack back at the Rangers. The Rangers push the attack, but are outmatched by the Triumvirate, before Kabuki Boy joins. Calling out, Gohan tells them to use the Dairanger, as Rin is surprised everyone has one. Powering the weapons with ki, they attack, and Kabuki Boy is badly hurt, before using an enlargement bomb to grow, and the Rangers call on their Kiden beasts, quickly forming Daireno. Kabuki Boy attacks with a tentacle from its mouth that holds Daireno, but at Rin's command, it's cut with a slice of its sword, before firing off a tornado attack at the Gorma, and finishing it off with a final slash. Later, Gohan and Shukyo are together, with the old man apologising for putting her in danger, as he plunges the sword deep into a rock, saying one day someone will pull the sword from the stone, and they will be a Dairanger, but even he doesn't know who, as they leave to return to China. Later at HQ, Rin is annoyed he has already left, as we see him driving in a car pulling cans behind it, before zooming in on Byakko Shinken as the episode ends. Okay, so I like this episode, and it's probably quite obvious why, but I'll get to that in a bit. First off, I know I touched on this a bit last time, but Kabuki Boy possessed a dead guy. First off, that's a little bit creepy. Secondly, how did he sneak into where they were robbing the place, where the cops had just shot him, in order to possess him, and then sneak through like the sewers, with the I don't get why you keep the money in that, to then, you know, go through everything that then happens. You know, the guy's been shot in the chest. So that bit kind of seems a bit strange. And also, you know, the Rangers just happen to chase after, like, the bank robber or jewelry robber or whatever they robbed, who then turns out to be possessed by Kabuki Boy. Because they didn't know when he, like, shot at them. He could have just been a random, like, robber that was shooting at people that saw him in the hopes that they'd run away and he could make a getaway. So, luck that they got the right guy. Rin's granddad, he's old. We're not sure how old, but he's still old. But he's engaged to a 20-year-old. I mean, I don't know what the views on an age gap that big was in those days, but these days it's bloody hell. I mean, on the one hand, well done, Gohan. On the other hand, what the hell, Gohan? I mean, bare minimum, that's got to be like a 40-year age gap. You know, on the one hand, you know, it's impressive he managed that, but on the other hand, that's messed up as hell. Yeah. So, just skimming over that, because, yeah, I don't even want to think about that. Gohan is a hell of a fighter. So, it makes me wonder, has he at some point, or is he going to go on to raise a little boy with a monkey tail that he's going to call Goku? Because he can beat up anything. So, you know, if he has, like, adopts a son with a monkey's tail and teaches him how to fight, that's going to explain a lot of things, and also cross over Dairanger and Dragon Ball. I'm sorry. I'm just, like, picturing it in my head. It's like Dragon Ball Z Super Sentai crossover. Although I'm sure someone's probably managed that somewhere, somehow. The Gorma Triumvirates have metal forms. Now, I don't know if that's like their monster forms. Supposedly all Gorma have a human form and a monster form. But, yeah, they have metal forms. And I don't know if it makes them stronger or if they're still as strong in their human forms as in their metal forms. But yeah, they're able to kick some ass. And obviously withstand and, you know, beat off the Kyoryoku bomb that the Rangers launch at them. The Dairanger actually being used properly this time against the Gorma. Not only with Rin using it to free Shukio from the cage, but all the Rangers use it. And I love the fact that, like, Gohan's like, use the Dairanger, and all the Rangers get one out, and Rin's just like, why have you not got one? And Ryo's just like, don't think you're the only one. And then they use it on Kabuki Boy, and he's left with 5 Dairanger just sticking out of his face that also seem to, like, wait a bit and then blow up a bit. Before, of course, he then goes giant and has a tentacle attack come out of his mouth. Because that sure as hell doesn't look like a tongue. That looks like a tentacle. In my notes, I just put, tentacle attack, isn't this supposed to be a kid's show? Because we all know the Japanese thing about tentacles. Or maybe they put them into kids' shows so when they grow up, they're not as fazed by tentacles attacking people all the time. I don't know. And then, of course, there's the thing that I absolutely love about this episode? Byaku Shinken. It's the first appearance. And it starts off, obviously, if you've seen it all before, or if you're coming into this as a Power Rangers fan, you're going to recognise it. As soon as you see that, you're like, beep, 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 beep. You're locked on. And it's like, that's Saba. It's Saba. Or, you know, if you're a Sentai fan, you're like, it's Byaku Shinken, it's Kiba Ranger's weapon, it's an intelligence. We all know what it is that have seen it before. First time round, you're just going to be watching, and you're probably not even going to notice this sword that Shukio's got on her after Kabuki Boy spits her out. And then later on, when the Gorma Triumvirate are watching in the car, they're like, what's that at her hip? Look at that sword. And then they're like cornering the pair and going, give us the sword. We're not giving you the sword. And it's building up and it's like really drawing focus. And then by the end of it, you know, Gohan's like, putting the sword in the stone. And she's like, yeah, I can't get out. And he's like, yeah, someone, I don't know who, is going to become the new Dairanger. And he's going to pull the sword. And it's like, damn. I mean, you're creating this legend for this sword straight away. And, like I say, for anyone who's already seen it, I mean, love or hate Ku, you know, it's Kiba Ranger. And, of course, for anyone who's come from MMPR, I mean, personally, never the biggest Tommy fan. But, I mean, Green Ranger just completely overrated in my books. It was all about Jason the Red Ranger. My man was done dirty, and you know it's a good thing they brought him back as Gold Ranger. In Zeo, you know, give him some credit. But yeah, I was never the biggest Tommy fan. Obviously, you know, a lot of people were, but when he became the White Ranger, it's just like, you are the new leader of the Power Rangers. It's like, I don't like you, Zordon. I don't like you, Zordon. And Jason's just there, obviously, like, dubbed in. Oh, that's great. No, it's not. No, it's not. Jason's the leader. So, I'm going on a rant about bloody Power Rangers. But, you know, the White Ranger was cool. You know, his shield wasn't even just a shield. It was like this whole waistcoat / shield. Which I liked a lot better. It still kind of fit in with the Ranger suits that obviously Mighty Morphin used. But it just looked so cool. And having the talking sword, I always loved. So, watching this episode again, obviously I can't remember much of the last time I watched through all these, because it was a few years ago. So, as soon as I saw it on her waist, I'm like, Saba! I can't remember the Japanese name, but Saba! So yeah, just having that in and realising that it's episode 14, they're already teasing the 6th Ranger. Are they saying that? Yeah, it's probably close to about the same time they introduced Dragon Ranger or Burai in Ranger. I wonder if it's going to be the same in... No, wait, there was no 6th Ranger in Kako Ranger. But, yeah. And, obviously, I've started ranting about Power Rangers, so I might as well go into my Power Rangers notes here. Again, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 2, Episode 36, same as last week. The Great Buchla Escape. Now, obviously, none of the possessed people are used, but the Robo-Buchla, the robot, is used. It's named Weldo. Yeah, real creative. It's been welded together. It's Weldo. Only archive footage. So, you know, it's breaking into Billy's garage. And Billy's garage is so big that, you know, there's this robot monster that looks like it's in a warehouse attacking Billy and the Buchla and I think Aisha in like Billy's garage. But it is only archive footage. Obviously, there is some original footage with Kabuki Boy, but obviously I covered that last week. Obviously, we do get a Zord fight in the Sentai episode, as I said, with the tentacle attack. They actually kept that in, although they made a joke saying it's a tongue lashing. And I think they actually managed to make the Zord fight slightly longer because they were putting in clips of the Rangers reacting to being hit or random comments or whatever they were putting in. So it did extend like the Zord fight by maybe about 20-30 seconds. Not much, but again, they're making it stretch out a little bit. But of course, that is all archive footage. The only original stuff was just Kabuki Boy as Bukala interacting with the Rangers at normal size. But no, it's nice they did something extra. I'm guessing they didn't have the ability to make a better Zord monster fight, but yeah, it was fun. And yeah, they managed to take a whole load of stuff from a two-parter and put it into one and still not get that much out of it, having to use their own footage. So yeah, anyway, next week we actually have some of my favourite enemies from this season. I was so glad when I got to that. And if you don't know who I'm on about, you'll find out next week. I'll see you then.